Hi, my name's Beck from Cooper's Animal Health. I'm Territory Manager for South East South Australia. And today I'll be talking to you about Campylobacter and the impact that this has on your lambing percentage and the number of lambs that you in fact turn out. There are a number of different factors that impact how many lambs you turn out. Number one, I guess, is ewe nutrition. So this is crucially important to make sure that you get the most number of lambs possible, is ensuring that the ewe nutrition during the joining period and also the lambing lactation period is kept up to speed and maximised during that time, as well as trace element deficiencies as well are addressed to ensure that you get the highest number of lambs turned out as possible. Ram health is also crucially important, so you need to make sure that the rams are not only in good health, free of brucellosis, but also important is also the handling of your rams as well, so to minimise stress before the joining period. Other impact on lambing percentages is also your worm burden, and also minimising pest management as well. So making sure they're free of worms, both ewes and rams, but also free of fly strike and any other issues that can reduce fertility and cause you lamb losses. Sometimes though, producers have discrepancies between the number of lambs scanned at scanning of the ewes and also lamb marking. Sometimes these discrepancies occur for reasons that we just can't pinpoint what the cause is. Often it's quite often it's due to predation, but sometimes there can also be underlying factors such as bacterial infections in the ewes, which cause abortion storms, or the birth of weak lambs which die shortly after birth. There are a number of different bacterial infections that can cause abortions in ewes. Some of these common ones include toxoplasmosis, listeria, and also Campylobacter. Today I'll be talking to you about Campylobacter and the impact that this has on ewe health, and also the lambs as well that turn out. The impact that this can have is not only abortion storms during the later half of pregnancy, but it also can impact on having lambs that are born quite weak and die shortly after birth. Campylobacter is a bacteria that's commonly found in most sheep in Australia. There are two major strains of Campylobacter, that is Campylobacter jejuni and Campylobacter fetus. These strains are commonly found in the gastrointestinal tract of most sheep and only cause issues in your ewes when they pick up the bacteria during the pregnancy period, most commonly through the second half of the pregnancy running into the lambing period. Campylobacter infections can present in numerous different ways on your property. The most common one is seeing abortion storms come through your flock, which is quite a dramatic impact on your lambing percentages and also your profits as a producer. Quite often the difference between lamb scanned and lamb marking can attribute to about 10% losses in some flocks, which quite often can go undiagnosed. In extreme situations though, it can attribute for about 40% of losses, which if you look at 1,000 ewes and you're losing 40%, or 1,000 lambs and you're losing 40% of those lambs, you know, at $100 a head, you know, it can easily turn into a $40,000 loss on your property. Other ways that Campylobacter can present on your property and other things to look out for is when you're doing a pre-lamb crutch, just to notice whether there is any blood stain on the breech area during the pre-lambing period, so you can notice whether you're losing any lambs that way. Other things to look out for too is just noticing whether you have any lambs that are born weak, that die shortly after birth, or just die during the lambing process but can't be attributed to any difficulty in lambing issues. The Campylobacter bacteria is spread throughout your flock by obviously the ewes pick it up during the lambing period. They get the bacteria and in their system, and then it's actually shed through urine and through faeces out onto your paddocks. You can get cross-contamination that way, but obviously if you've got a ewe that's aborting into the paddock, if she aborts a fetus, the fetus that comes out and is on the pasture, that's obviously got the bacteria in it as well, so it can actually be picked up by other ewes grazing around that area, which then has a flow-on effect. That ewe picks up the bacteria, that gets develops a few issues, and then they then obviously have an abortion storm themselves if it's during that pregnancy period. Other ways that Campylobacter is spread, not only throughout your own property but also across neighbouring farms, is that the Campylobacter bacteria present in aborted fetuses can be picked up by crows or foxes, and it can be spread through different paddocks and also to neighbours as well. The good news is for Campylobacter is that there is a preventative available for preventing the infection on your property during the lambing period. This is called a vaccine that Cooper's brought out in late 2013 called Campyvax. Campyvax can be used as a preventative during the pre-joining period. So like any vaccine, you have to give, for the initial shot, you need to give 2 shots 4 to 6 weeks apart prior to joining. And then every year after that is an initial 12-month booster just before the joining period as well, which gives you coverage for Campylobacter on your property. I hope this has given you a good insight into Campylobacter and other bacterial infections that can occur on your property. If you have any further questions on this issue, please don't hesitate to contact myself, Beck, at Cooper's Animal Health, or Kaztec Rural Supplies or Ray White Keatley if you have any further questions in regards to this issue.